Alright guys, welcome back to the course. In this lecture, I'm going to take a look at how to program drums in FL Studio. So first of all, I'm opening up this project that we created earlier in the course, and I'm going to go for the packs and drums. And as you can see here, we have different individual drums we can use for our beat. And we're going to produce a complete beat here. You can do that in several ways inside of FL Studio. You can either program it through the channel rack, so you can lay out each and every individual sample here in a channel rack, and then you can go with the step sequencer here to get the programming in time. And you can also choose the piano roll here instead of the step sequencer if you want to get one, let's say, one note in one side or the other side, for instance. All right, so we're going to take this first method here, and yeah, let's just create a kick drum here. So let's find a nice kick drum. Let's take this one. So I'm going to create just a basic kick drum pattern here. I'm going to lower the tempo a bit to 120 BPM. All right, so now we have our kick drum. I want to have a hi-hat as well. So let's choose a close hi-hat for now. Let's use this one. And we can do it like this, or we can just go and fill each 8 steps, or actually fill each 2 steps. All right. Let's go with a snare. And there we have our very, very simple basic beat here. So I want to make this hi-hat a bit more like a human is playing it, because now it's the same velocity here. So it sounds very, very computerized. So let's just right click on the instrument that you want to change. And here you can see all of our individual MIDI notes. And this is the MIDI notes that we created in the channel rack. So here you can also see the control, and you have the note velocity enabled here. So I can just take each and every single note here and just lower the velocity a bit like this. And you can see each and every single marker here is corresponding to the note that we have here. So let's say that I create a note here, you will see that it actually created a note here as well in the control bar. So let's take a listen to it now. I think it's maybe too low in volume. You can also add notes to this to the piano roll here. So you can just create like this maybe. You can also hold shift and just scroll with the mouse to get the note a bit of for the side. So you can see here. So there are a lot of different things you can do here in the piano roll. I could sit here and program drums for hours and hours, but I think you will be bored watching me just programming drums. So I just want to show you how to do this very, very quickly within the step sequencer and the channel rack. So as I explained before in the channel rack video, you can also go here and create the same thing here with the velocity. And you can also see the piano roll by just clicking here instead of the step sequencer. There are some different ways as well you can do it. So instead of going with the channel rack here, you can just close the channel rack here and just drag in the different individual drums into the playlist immediately. So if we just choose this dialog here, the audio clips in the picker, you can go to kick drums here, and let's import the same kick drum. So we want it to be in the kick drum section, and we really have to zoom in right now. So let's do that. Let's go back here. Okay. So now we have a kick drum, and now we can just paint it out like this. And this is way too zoomed in, so let's do it like this instead. So as you can hear, the playlist stops playing wherever the last audio sample is at. So it's going to be, it's not going to be in time here. So what we can do here is to just right click and hold for the selection that you want to play. And it will loop that section. So yeah, this is what you want to use when creating drums in this view here. All right, so now let's go for an hi-hat, and let's go for the close one. Same thing goes here. And now it can get a bit complicated if you have a lot of sounds which is very close to each other, but you can do with this. And you can see that the velocity is now the same. So if you want to lower the velocity, you actually have to go inside one of each and every single audio file here and lower the volume a bit. And you can see all of this are now linked to each other because we created the same. We actually just having the same audio file playing here. So I can't really do that as well. But what I can do here is to make unique as sample. And now we have a new sample here. So as you can see, it's number 2 and number 3, as you can see. So what I can do here now is to just double click, change the volume here, and it will stay the same volume in there. All right, so let's take the next element here, and we're going to use the snare. So it puts our snare there. Let's lower the volume a bit, so we can do that by double clicking on the individual audio samples. Let's do the same thing with the hi-hat. So now we have our very basic